Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to...
So considering the fact that you've interacted, with a number of actors, what would be your advice to them as regards, the commonest mistake that I've noticed with them, especially in terms of how they manage their career, their life, and their investments?
Okay, so one of the other things that has helped me a lot is the fact that I invest in a lot of things. And investing in a lot of things means that when I'm stranded, I'm able to jump into one of my investments to sustain me. So I was saying to someone, that recently the festival I held in Greece cost me well over $50,000, 50,000 euros. And 70% of those monies came from my pocket, because eventually sponsors, who had promised to do something, at the last minute told me stories and some of them pulled out. So imagine I did not have other source of raising funds, I would have been stranded. It means that as one working in an industry that would not pay your bill all year round, you must save money. We need to develop a culture of saving. I understand that actors live flamboyant life. They need to spend 2 million or 3 million on one clothes when they have to go for a red carpet event like the AMVCA. They need to buy flashy cars. They need to rent expensive houses, put furnishing to live that life. But then it also makes a lot of sense that you save a lot of money, invest in a business that can fund your lifestyle. Because if you do not have a sustainable source of income to fund your lifestyle, it's going to crash. With the social media era where everyone wants to look flashy, it becomes very difficult for people to survive. You can imagine a situation where someone said to me that the clothes they wore to the AMVCA cost them 4 million naira. I would imagine what 4 million naira would do to me at this point in my life, And then I would also imagine what 4 million naira would do to them, because they're fashion designers who with, a quarter of that money would make something, extra terrific and very sophisticated for the show. So I don't know how true that is, we're made to believe that these things are true when people spend that much amount to buy clothes for just one event. I understand the fact that fashion is expensive. Bags, shoes, all these things are extremely expensive. People spend as much as $15,000, $20,000 to buy a bag, and more to buy shoes. But when you do not have a source of income that would sustain that livelihood or that lifestyle, it doesn't make sense. It's a useless effort to create a mirage around a lifestyle you will not sustain for a long time. And so when something comes calling, a situation comes calling that requires funding, you fall back on your colleagues to raise the money to help you, fund that situation, which is the problem. So for actors, once they are at the peak of their career, it's important they create another source of income. A lot of them do that. If you see people like Kule is building a film village, which eventually will be a resort. He has a restaurant, he has a clothing line. Some of the actors are beginning to create investments, investments across borders so that they can, beyond funding the flamboyant lifestyle, be able to sustain themselves at retirement, which is very important, because a lot of Nigerian actors, a lot of Nigerian producers do not think retirement. And so when you do not think retirement, you leave that minute. And when you get to a stage where you're no longer relevant, you no longer make the kind of money you make, you're stranded. You see it in the industry, it happens a lot of times. A lot of people end up being stranded and depend on their colleagues to help them kick back again. So it's important that we learn to save, we learn to invest, and we also learn to support other people, because in supporting other people, you would get the support needed when the time comes to you. I can tell you freely that every time I am stranded, I have people who look and say, look, you've supported us one way or the other. We can help you out. We'll support you. I have a lot of people. I can tell you that if I wake up today and I want to raise 10 million naira, it would not take me 2 days to raise 10 million naira without having to put it out on social media, because of a lot of people that one way or the other I have helped along the line. So these are some of the things that I think my colleagues, my friends, senior colleagues, you know, should make efforts to put in line of action or in the line of duty, you know, for posterity's sake.